Have you ever looked at your garage or storage room and thought, wow, how did this get so out of hand? How did this huge disaster happen out here? In all likelihood, it probably didn't happen in one day. In the book of James, chapter 1, we're talking a little bit about sin, and we've learned in verse 13 that God is not the source of temptation for us to sin, and yet we learn beginning in verse 14 that every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. And then when lust has conceived, it brings forth sin, and sin, when it is full grown, brings forth death. You see, we tend to look at sin as a one-time act, yet the Bible tells us right here that God views it as a process. It's something that unfolds itself perhaps over even a long period of time, and yet it is sin. It is a situation where we face something, we're enticed by it, we're drawn in, and then we move from being in a safe condition to an unsafe condition, from being in a saved condition to a lost condition, from being in a situation where we are alive to a situation where we are, spiritually speaking, dead. Remember, the last word in the verses that we read is death. Don't find yourself there. It's not something that happens necessarily overnight or instantly. Sometimes it's a process. It's up to us to recognize it, to identify it, and then to put a stop to it.